Okay, so for English, we had to write an essay. We write one essay every week. In this one, we read a story. Where did I put it? That's weird. I just had it. Apparently it's way over there. Just a second. Alright, we read a story, What I've Learned, by Michael Wright. And I'll just read the headline. At 8:48 on the morning of September 11, Michael Wright was a 30-year-old accountant executive working on the 81st floor of the World Trade Center. 2 hours later, he was something else. The story of his escape is the fastest 3,863 words you will ever read. So, it was really badly written. But it was a really good story of his survival and how he made it through and his strengths and the emotions that he went through and everything like that. And it was really interesting. So the teacher asked us, we got to choose, we're being crushed by that's right. I only wrote 2 of the questions to answer. We had to choose, I think, out of 4. Only 2 of them interested me, so I wrote the 2 down. Would being crushed to death by a skyscraper be a good way to die? Explain the positive and negative attributes. Well, I didn't really want to explain that. So I decided to do the 4th idea, which was, how would you have acted/reacted if you were in Michael Wright's situation? Explain your strengths for survival, your emotional reactions, etc. So that's what I did. Now this video is going to be private until I hand my essay in because it's the internet and I don't want anybody jacking it from me. But yeah, I wrote it today, Sunday, September 21st, 2008. It's 4:19 p.m. And I will tell you the title of my essay afterwards. Actually, I'll tell you it now. I called it Amelia. You'll find out a little later on. Okay? It's like 1,362 words, which I don't know if that's too long for an essay, but whatever. I've been waiting for this day for what seems like forever. Today my family and I will be heading to the World Trade Centers. I can't believe I'm in New York, about to step out of the hotel and walk towards 2 absolutely stunning buildings. It's 8 a.m. and the family is preparing to leave the Millennium Hilton Hotel. Shortly we will be making our way across Church Street into the World Trade Center too. My mom comes to find me in the hotel lobby and tells me that my sister has fallen ill and she will be staying behind to care for her. But I am more than welcome to venture out on my own, which I love to do, but I must be back within the hour. So I jumped on that opportunity and headed out the door towards the Twin Towers. I stand beneath the building staring up in amazement, taking in all of the architecture as well-dressed men and women push by me heading towards the World Trade Center too. I joined the rushing crowd, eager to step inside the building. Are we, the public, even allowed to go inside? I decided to go inside anyways. That was the worst decision I made that day. I headed up to the subterranean level, which opened up into this big mall. It was like I was in a completely different building now. It was incredible. I checked my watch. It was 8:31 a.m. I should have turned around and headed back to the hotel to check in with my mom and sister, but my curiosity definitely got the best of me, so I headed for the elevator to check out a few more floors before I head back to the hotel. I believe I got to the 50th floor when all of a sudden the building shook. I lost my balance and fell to the floor. Chaos erupts. People are shouting and running around, when a loud voice suddenly appears over the loudspeakers. "Stay calm," the male voice shouts. "Everything will be fine. Return to your desks," he commands. In shock and still on the floor, I completely lose myself. As I begin to shake, a young woman, visibly shaken as well, notices me and comes over to help me. She begins to ask me for my name and why I'm in the building. I was unable to give her any answers. The young woman, who then introduces herself as Amelia, decides to take me downstairs, hoping it was the right decision. Still frightened by the shake, Amelia chooses to take the stairwell instead of the elevator. As Amelia and I headed down the stairwell, the craziness seemed to have increased. The stairwell was filled with frustrated and worried people trying to get down to the ground floor as quickly as possible. Amelia noticed this and quickly picked up speed, now running down flights of stairs, holding my hand so she won't lose me. It was so loud in the stairwell, I could barely hear my own self think. I could just picture my mother and my sister. With that alone, I broke into tears. Amelia somehow heard my sobs, turned around, gave me a hug, and whispered, "Everything will be all right. I promise." A few minutes later, though it seems like hours, we reached the subterranean level. I could see windows, but couldn't bring myself to look outside, afraid that my worst fear would be unfolding before my eyes. I clenched Amelia's hand tighter as we make our way through the chaotic scene. People running in every direction possible. People shouting, people crying, people sitting on the floor with their knees to their chests, people on cell phones trying to reach their loved ones. I knew we had to get out of here, and I knew we had to get out of here fast. We headed across the way to the final stairwell that would take us to the ground floor, out onto Church Street, where I stood just under an hour ago. We reached the ground floor, where a fireman approached us and told us to head back up. Amelia absolutely refused to do so. She quickly explained that she had no clue who I am or where I am supposed to be. Just as she finished, the whole building shook, and the fireman yelled, "Get on the ground and cover your heads now." Amelia and I quickly responded to what the fireman had said. Before we knew it, the fireman was laying on top of us, trying to protect us from what is coming our way. I was sure hours had gone by before I came to again. I was so disoriented. All I remember is feeling like my body was being crushed by thousands of pounds. I felt around as best as I could, which is when I remembered Amelia. I couldn't see anything, but I could feel her laying beside me. I tried to open my mouth to scream for help, but nothing came out. I felt something shuffle above us. The fireman? I thought to myself. I could hear him, but nothing he was saying made any sense to me. I tried my best to cough, which he thankfully heard. He bent down beside me to make sure I wasn't severely injured. He spoke into my ear, telling me to follow the best I can behind him. I was able to mumble out, "Amelia?" The fireman then turned around to check on her. She coughed, and that was good enough for me. The fireman then got down on his hands and knees and began to crawl through all of the debris. I did my best to keep up with him. I had to keep telling myself, "I will get through this. I will be okay. I will see my mom and my sister again. I will survive." I pulled myself along behind the fireman, counting the seconds that ticked by. After 842 seconds, I heard the fireman say that we have made it to safety. I tried to stand up, but felt a sharp shooting pain up my left leg, and I fell back down. Amelia crawled up beside me and held me close. I began to wipe the dirt away from my face and out of my eyes so that I could see exactly what I just survived. The pain was horrible, but my curiosity, like always, got the best of me. I squinted through my eyes, but couldn't see much of anything. There was a lot of dust. It looked like a huge, gloomy cloud full of rain. Depressing. Amelia shouted to the fireman that I hurt my leg. Before I knew it, the fireman was holding me in his arms, asking where my family is. I pointed in the direction where I thought the hotel was, but quickly put my hand down. I tried my best to say Hilton, and must have been successful. Before I knew it, we were walking through the front doors of the Hilton Hotel. I could not remember the room number, but I was able to write down my last name. But before the people at the front counter could tell me the room number, I heard my mom screaming behind me, "That's my daughter. My God, she is alive." The fireman quickly told her to be careful and that I've injured my leg, but my mother didn't seem to care much. She squeezed me in her arms and didn't want to let go. The fireman, whom never did tell any of us his name, left a call for an ambulance for Amelia and I. My mother just stared at me, amazed, as if she was looking at something that wasn't really there. She didn't even notice Amelia, who was now trying to contact her family. I couldn't wait to tell my mom the whole story from start to finish, but most of all, I couldn't wait to tell my mom how grateful I am for Amelia, because if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have survived. Yeah, I hope you like it. And I guess I'll let you know what mark I get. I'll hand it in on Tuesday, so I'll probably get it back Thursday or Friday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Bye!